Greetings everybody and welcome to a new video. My name is Fuko and today we have a look at the Meiolania, which is a giant tortoise, which is probably like the biggest tank that you can imagine in Ark. And it's quite the simple showcase today. It's not that much of a complicated animal, but it's made from our friend Xyphias, who made the Hatzegopteryx and Meiolania and all the other critters that I showcased a while back. And this is the last creature in his catalog that I really wanted to showcase. So we gonna do this now. What is the Meiolania? If you would ask me to tell you in one short sentence, it's basically everything that the Carbonaris wants to be. The good old Carbonaris, the good old turtle, forgotten by Wildcard, never got a real TLC, and Xyphias came across and said, I want a real, powerful, and creatively designed turtle, and then he came across with his own giant turtle design. And it's the Meiolania, and it looks amazing. I know that here there is a level 140 or something around. By the way, if you don't want to waste hours of your time searching for animals, get the Dino Finder. It's an amazing addition. You can just click on the animals and it shows you exactly where they are. So, how do you tame a Meiolania? It's amazingly simple, by the way. Let me get some gamma increasement on. Here we have the Meiolania. Look at him. Giant ass turtle with a super armored thick shell on his back. Looks like an absolute unit of an animal. So the taming is super easy as you can imagine. You just either shoot their head, their tail, or basically any body part that's exposed. Because if you are shooting the shell, you only deal like 30 damage. It's like 80 or 90% damage resistance on the shell. But the head is actually relatively unarmored. I think the head has only 50% armor and everything else has like 90% armor. So just simple knockout tame. Goes extremely fast, extremely simple. It's definitely more on the beginner side of a tame, but what it actually can do is amazing for, especially for PvP. Takes a few shots because of the way it is armored, and there it goes. My long leg rifle has 600 damage almost, and it took quite a while for it to go down, so you need a few arrows definitely if you're doing it with primitive. So yeah, that's the Meiolania. It is down. It is very simple. It wants regular kibble, 4 kibble on ×5, so a level 150 on ×1 will probably take about 20 regular kibble. And I will come back with the video when this one is tamed out and I'm back at my extinction base. And here we are again in my extinction base in front of my replicator. The Meiolania has 3 different items that the mod brings that you can make. 2 are the saddles, the classic saddle, which you can use to normally ride the Meiolania at level 34, sorry. And there is a Meiolania mortar saddle at level 89 for the end game. So this one is what makes the Meiolania so special. It transforms the Meiolania into a mortar, basically a armored artillery that you can use to bombard your enemy from this far distance away. So this is actually huge for the more creative PvP community. which does like to bring some mod creatures into their server environment. So I have made one of the shields just to show you guys, and it's actually just the head, the cut-off head of the Meiolania, and it is absolutely enormous. Like, it looks pretty nice for a shield, definitely. Much more rustic than the very modern riot shields that everybody is walking around with. If you're going into first person, it does take away quite like everything. You're not allowed to see anything anymore when you're holding this one up. But it is very sturdy. It looks nice. It is in the arc aesthetic, and it is strong. It is definitely helping against strong targets like mini bosses on Ragnarok, like the Iceworm Queen. And you can actually also put it onto the wall. It is not only a shield, but it's also very decorative. Maybe I cannot use the shield, but only the head plate as the trophy. That could be. So let's see if the uncrafted thing works. Yeah, this one works. Okay, so if you want to actually put it onto your wall, you don't have to do anything with it. You just have to kill a Meiolania and just put the item you get right on the trophy mount. If you want to make a shield out of it, you actually have to craft it in your smithy. Alright, so here we have the first Meiolania saddle, which is the complete normal one. As you can see, turn radius really fast. It turns around really quickly. Speed very low, as expected. It is a fucking turtle after all. So, what makes this one so special? And I'm gonna show you right now by flying down, because I cannot use it here. I need to be on the ground to actually use that one. Can't do it on foundations. You can actually bury into the ground with using C. And this basically makes you 50% more sturdy against every attack from above, from anything, from any direction basically. So as you know, the only weaknesses this animal has is its head, which is only like 50% armored, and his legs, and like the very base of the tail. But when you are digging into the ground, everything is absolutely protected. So nothing can actually kill you, or kill you very slowly, because now you are all around 90% armored against all incoming damage, which makes this animal an amazing damage soaker, definitely. If you are on PvP and you are using Stegosaurus to soak turret damage from people to like empty enemy turrets completely, this one is definitely a great addition to your army, because you can just dig into the ground, take 90% reduced damage, and you have an enormous HP pool. Like, these things scale so well with HP. You can level them up and they get like 700 or 800 HP per level up. So, and you can stay buried infinitely. So these things can actually take a giant punch. If you have Up From The Depths Giganotosaurus mod and T-Rex mod installed, you can also use this animal relatively nicely to soak a bunch of damage. For the people that don't know, Giganotosaurus on that mod, specific mod, is tamed by tanking tons and tons amounts of damage, so this would also be a perfect fit for this job. So this is what the buried mechanic and the armor of this thing can actually do. So here we have the mortar saddle of the Meiolania, which is a giant turret on its back, transforming it into a heavily armored mobile artillery. And these things are amazing if you are on PvP. You can, well, to use them you have to bury in the ground, so you become stationary to actually use these things. But as soon as you are close enough to the enemy base, you can just shoot over the enemy walls and do heavy damage on the interior of the enemy base, which is an amazing addition to the PvP meta, in my opinion. You no longer have to just send in damage soakers, etc. You can actually bombard the enemy territory with this beautiful addition to the Arc catalog. It has two different firing modus. There's this one, which is more of a mortar shot. It aims more into the sky and has a lower reach, a lower range. And then there is this other one, which moves the cannon more into the horizontal, into a about 45-degree angle. And this one can actually shoot a little bit further than the other one. So I'm showing you how much it can actually deal damage-wise, because you have to make specialized ammunition in the inventory of the Meiolania, and they are quite expensive. They want black pearls, crystals, metal ingots, cementing paste, gunpowder, a lot of gunpowder, and polymer. Makes them very, very expensive to build, but they are worth it. The damage of these things scales, the damage of, overall, the damage of the mortar saddle scales with the armor of with the quality of the armor mortar. So you have to actually find good quality blueprints or already built saddles with something like drakelings or cave drops to increase and maximize the damage output of the mortars. It is not bound to the melee damage of the animal. That only applies to the melee attack animation of the Meiolania. If you want to increase the Meiolania's mortar damage, you actually have to get a better saddle. So now I have built 17 of these ammunitions. They go into your money, definitely. So use them sparingly. I will not do that because I want to showcase this animal. So let's just try to hit this trike right in front of us. Right mouse button. Okay, yeah, that goes much longer than I expected. Let's switch into the more close range. Oh, 300 damage. Jesus. Oh, maybe those hit. Bam, bam, bam. Can I actually hit him in the melee? Oh, oh. Maybe I can hit him. Nice. They actually have a really nice displacement effect on the ground where they hit. Nice. So my biggest hit was actually 300 damage to the trike. So I must have hit the some like vulnerable spot on his body or something, but 300 is a lot of damage. Imagine if you have like 10 of these, like just covering the enemy base in a shower of mortars. So yeah, there's absolutely no cooldown on these. You can just spam them as much as you want, and quite high damage. The range is not what you would expect from a classic war game artillery. It's not that long. So you must walk up to the enemy base quite near before you can actually shoot over the wall. But it's still very fun, and it brings a new fresh air into the PvP meta, in my opinion, definitely. And let's be real here, we just always wanted another nice turtle addition to this amazing game. Especially after the Carbonaris is such a disappointment, sadly, because it just doesn't get any love from Wildcard. So I am happy that we have this giant Turtus as addition. It's an amazing damage soaker. It has damage reduction, tons of damage reduction. It is amazing in soaking damage, and it's a mobile artillery. What more do you want? It's amazingly easy to tame, and if you kill them, you get free parts to make your own cheap and very sturdy shields. So that was all there is to this very simple but very effective animal. I hope you liked this video. and I hope to see you next time again. This is Fuko, and yeah, have a nice day. Goodbye.